Okay guys, we are live here from Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, the Mecca, and I am here with my good friend here and client, Chuck Anderson. Chuck is 19 years old, still a teenager, but he is very, very much dedicated to the sport of bodybuilding. He just recently did his first show, and he did well, but he has the goal of one day being an IFBB pro, and he wants to learn right from the beginning, you know, the proper way to train, the proper way to diet. He wants to do everything right from the start. We're gonna concentrate on back today. I'm gonna teach him, the reason why I wanna do back is actually because that's usually one of the hardest body parts for people to get in touch with and really feel. A lot of people do their back workouts, but they don't actually feel their back working. And I'm gonna give him 4 pretty unique movements, twists on regular movements, but they're gonna be kind of unique, so hopefully it'll be new for all you guys and new for him. And what I really wanna get across today to him is how to really feel the exercise while he's doing it. I don't want him to you know, throw the weight or use poor form, but we're gonna go beyond just proper technique and, you know, and not using momentum and swinging. I want him to use very, very slow rep cadence. I want him to do a lot of stretching, a lot of squeezing. I want him to really get in touch with all the back muscles, and I want him to carry this over to every single body part. Okay, so the first exercise that we're gonna do is something that I like to do to work the mid-back, right in the middle part of the back, the mid-trapezius, the rhomboids, and I do that here on this particular area. We do it with an incline bench like this, and I use a rope attachment at the top. You want to think about keeping the chest high, and you're bringing the elbows back as far as you can, almost as you're trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together, and that's how you work that mid-back. Instead of just leaving this movement and doing it for 3 sets the same exact way, I'm going to change the angle of pull. Every time you take a movement and you just change the grip from wide to close, or change a foot stance, or change the angle of push or pull, you're actually affecting different motor unit pools or different muscle fibers within that muscle. So this is the way you get complete development, is by hitting it from every possible angle. So what I'm gonna do is I lowered it down by 2, so now the angle is gonna be a little bit less steep, and when he pulls, he's gonna actually feel it a little bit different, probably a little bit lower in the mid-back. Focus on your squeeze. Elbows back, squeeze. Good. Chest up, squeeze. Good. Squeeze. There you go. He just said to me that every rep is like 1 set, and I always tell all my clients all the time, and they will all tell you this, I always say try to treat every rep as a set. So you're not thinking in terms of, if you're going for 10 reps, just say, instead of thinking of a whole set of 10, think of 10 sets of 1. So that's how important each rep is. So when you think of it that way, you'll get a lot more out of each rep, and then the set will become much more effective. Now on the 3rd set, I'm actually gonna lower it a little bit further and change the angle one more time. Keep you from going forward too much, squeeze. Get that full stretch though, let it stretch out all the way. There you go, squeeze. You wanna get that full range of motion. Squeeze, good. Never sacrifice form for weight, squeeze, there you go. Now we're working a little bit lower on the mid-back, squeeze, good. Come on, switch up, squeeze, come on. Just like you said, every rep's a set, squeeze. All right, so that's the first movement that we're gonna do. We're gonna do 4 movements, 3 sets each. When you're working back, try to put your thumb on the same side of the bar as the other fingers, because what that does is when you're using the thumb, it engages more of the forearm and bicep. When you put it over, you'll get more back, okay? So try to always do this, try to always grab like that when you do back. If it takes, you know, if you can use wraps sometimes if you ever get too heavy in certain exercises, but try to use that grip. Okay, put your feet back behind you. Full stretch at the start. Let's stay leaned in, squeeze. Good, all the way to the top. Now go to full stretch. You didn't go to full stretch. I want all the way stretched. There you go. Good, working right here. Working right here, squeeze. There you go. Full stretch, always let the arms fully stretch out. Good. Got to work the muscle through a full range of motion. You want to stretch the lats and then come down and squeeze. Now, last time, the first exercise, what I did is I adjusted the pulley height. This time I'm adjusting the bench height. So it's going to be a little bit different. Full stretch at the top. Stay up like that. Always stay up like that. Full stretch at the top. Squeeze. Let them go all the way to the top. I want you to stretch those lats. Squeeze. Stretch. There you go, right in that middle back. You're thinking about a back double bicep shot when you're bringing your arms down and squeezing all those little back muscles. Squeeze. I've discovered over time certain ways to tweak basic exercises to make you feel the muscles even more, because I'm putting your body in positions where it has no choice but to work those specific muscles. A lot of exercises, you know, you can engage other muscles, like a regular lat pull down, for instance. A lot of people will go to the top and then they'll come down and they'll kind of swing it. You can't do that here. You have no choice. So you can really get that feel in the muscles. So that's what I'm trying to show you. I want you to make sure when you get to the top, these arms are straight, so you're stretching. Stretch the lats. All the way to the top, so you're stretching the lats. Then you come down. That's it. Come on. Even if you have to use less weight, I want that full stretch. I don't care about the weight. Good. Come on. Let those lats stretch out. Squeeze. Come on. That's it. All right, guys, so we did our first two exercises where I was focusing mostly on mid-back, so we were using more a grip that would have him bring his elbows out wide. When you bring your elbows out wide and during a back movement, of course you're still working the lats, but you're engaging more of the middle back. When you bring your hands in so they're close to the body, either with an underhand grip or a close grip like this, you will then begin to engage a little bit more of the lats than you will the middle back. So the first two exercises was more middle back engagement. Now we're going to do more lat engagement. This next exercise, again, we're staying at the same pulley, same incline bench, but we're going to use a different grip, close grip, and we're going to be doing a play on a seated cable row. This exercise I have found to be great for hitting the area of the back that's sort of low, down close to the spine and low, where the lats insert into the waist, and building thickness in that area down there, so you have sort of that Christmas tree area that people have on stage when they're really ripped. It builds that thickness down there, so it's a unique movement, and again, it keeps his body and his torso in a position that he's got no choice but to simply just use back muscle activation. There's no swinging possible, and it's very, very specific how it's his back. And what we're going to also do, again, is I'm going to change the angles on each set, which is one thing that I love about doing exercise here at a low pulley with an incline bench. Again, we're going into the bench, feet back behind you. Okay. Okay. I'm going to pull up here, squeeze. Now I want you to pull down here so the elbows are close to the body. Okay, and I don't want you pulling up here, down here. Full stretch, like on every one. Back, squeeze, chest out, arch. Now when you come to the top, again, arch the back, get the chest out. That's it. Full stretch, squeeze. We're going for this area here. Full stretch, squeeze, hold. Good. You have to arch when you get to the top and stick the chest out. That's the way you get the best contraction in the lats. Again, full stretch, squeeze. Don't rush out of your stretch. Get your stretch, hold it for a second, then come and squeeze in. Good. Okay. Remember, stretch, arch back. There you go, you gotta arch back. Pull in, elbows close to the body, good. Now, as he's doing this exercise, guys, you didn't see, but what I did is I changed the angle of the pulley again. I left the bench at the same angle, but now he's pulling from a different angle on the bottom, a little bit higher up. So every set is unique to his muscles and his central nervous system. One more. I changed the pulley angle again. Here we go. Yes. Let me get you. Okay, here we go. Remember, arch. Come up, chest out, good. So your lower body stays on there, but you bring your chest up off. Come on, chest up, good. Just that little bit will get you a better contraction. Okay, so our last exercise for today, our fourth exercise, is something that is called Merlin one-arm rows, and it's called Merlin one-arm rows because my nickname is Merlin, which was given to me by my partner, Dave Borlay, my training partner. And this is a play on a one-arm row, but it's a way to do one-arm rows again that I feel is much more effective for back development. It keeps your torso in a fixed position, and it forces you to really, really engage the back muscles very, very strongly, much more strongly than with a general one-arm row. What we do is we start with the right arm, we straddle the bench, and you want to take your left side of your chest and put it into the bench and grab a hold. Put this leg back here. Okay, stay in this position. Row from here. Now, as you can see, I'm not rowing straight up. I'm sort of rowing back on an angle into my hip, and that engages more of the lats. If you pull straight up, it's more rear delt. So here, squeeze, stretch, squeeze. Everything that I do is trying to teach people that it's more important to engage the muscle with your mind, think about what you're doing, feel the stretch, feel the muscle pushing or pulling, feel the function of the muscle, what it's supposed to be doing from the beginning of the rep to the end of the rep. And of course, over time, you do want to be able to use heavier weights, or you want to be able to do more reps, you want to be progressive. But I would not change the weight, I wouldn't do that until you've mastered a particular weight. And when I say mastered, it means that you can really just do an entire set using the same form beginning to end until you reach failure and feel the exercise exactly where you want to feel it. And that's the true mind-muscle connection, and I think that that's what's most important to teach, I think, young guys right from the beginning, so that they do it for their entire career, because I believe that they'll build muscle at a much faster pace. You know, instead of taking 10 years to build something, they'll build it in 5. And I think it's also important for experienced lifters who've maybe reached a plateau, and you know, maybe they can't get any stronger. I mean, we all reach a plateau in strength, and there's, you know, only a finite amount of time that we can train, and I think that the key is then really engaging the mind and the muscle, and almost making it almost like, it might sound silly to some people, but not to me, almost like a meditative experience. And if you can really get into that meditative state during each set, you will need not as many sets per workout. You'll be out of the gym faster, and you'll do 3 times as much work in a set than you normally would. So that's the key to my training, and that's what I truly believe in. But another thing I want to talk about right now real quickly, because this is something that actually Chuck asked me about, and I'm really glad that he did. He asked me about stretching a muscle after you're done with it. And I want to emphasize that it's very, very important to stretch the muscle that you just worked when you're done training it. Don't stretch it. A lot of people stretch a muscle while they're training. I don't recommend that, because actually studies have shown that when you stretch a muscle while you're training it, it actually saps some of the strength from the muscle. So what you want to do is you want to wait until you're done. So now he's done with lats, so what I want him to do now is I want him to do a couple of stretches. I don't want him to do this for every body part, but for lats, all I really would want him to do is something like this, where he'd grab the bench, lean back and pull as hard as he can, and stretch out the lat muscles. And you want to actually stretch really, really hard, because we're not talking about just a passive, comfortable stretch. We're talking about a stretch where you're really pulling hard on the muscle, and that actually will ignite the anabolic process. It actually will cause release of hormones that will produce growth. That's been scientifically proven as well. So you want to do a hard stretch. You want to hold it for about 30 seconds. It should be painful, of course. Be careful not to injure yourself, but it should be painful. You should feel it. And you do about 2 stretches like that for about 30 seconds each at the end of every body part. So that's what we'll have them do now.